million for the blog, for your blog.
Yeah.
By the way, God bless. Nice woman, sweet, charming woman. Her and her wife, lovely people, no issue with them directly at all. They don't like me anymore, which is fine because, again, you're on the team or you're not on the team. You criticize one thing and then you're off the team.
He nails it, okay? Are we supposed to actually believe that the free markets are not an illusion when we learn that Barry Weiss's failing company is potentially going to be purchased by Oracle, or by Larry Ellison, rather, maybe in his own personal capacity? Why? Why would he be looking at Barry Weiss at all in the free press? We can see with our own eyes. We're arriving at that point where they're telling us not to believe our own eyes, right? Not to believe our eyes. Barry Weiss is really just as talented. She's just as brilliant. Don't believe me? Go watch her interview with Joe Rogan. Because then you won't believe me at all that she's brilliant. It's completely ridiculous. This is what I say. We're noticing this trend, and it's always these people that are super committed to Israel in every regard, and they just get pulled up through the ranks, and we're told they really were just that genius. She really is worth $250 million. And yeah, the real grift is that. It's LOL to people that think that the grift is being anti-Israel. Are you kidding me? People get fired, harassed. Students, they're hunting down students who are going, okay, maybe don't wear an IDF shirt to the gym when they're conducting a genocide. They're like, this person's life needs to be ruined. That person in the future will be considered a hero. I believe that. All of these people that are supporting this will be considered worse than Nazis, to be honest with you. But as we await that, this is a moment. We are facing this moment where we have to ask ourselves, is anything real? And I think the answer to that is obviously no. It's almost like in the West, they just wanted us to believe in our own freedom, right? And they're turning us all into employees, to new kind of slavery, thinking that you can achieve and work yourself off the plantation, work hard, but at the end of the day, no, they're in control of all the companies. And if you do somehow create something that is worth something, they're going to buy it from you, like they're going to offer you a huge check to go away because they have to own everything, right? Or as happened with the Bitcoin stories, a lot of Bitcoin people, or I should say cryptocurrency people, ended up dead in mysterious circumstances, and because they represented some sort of an existential threat to their monetary system. But this is not looking good. I'm done being told to believe that people who are objectively stupid, okay, or are objectively not successful, when you look at the numbers, the sheer numbers, okay, are actually incredible. They're actually achieving greatness to the tune of $250 million. Anyways, further on the topic of everything being fake and gay, and how all of this really is connected and really is a challenge for us to recognize that we are at war with our press. This has been the importance of the Blake Lively lawsuit. Why are you covering this? Are you crazy? This is exactly what it is that we're talking about. Okay, a couple goes to the New York Times amongst their powerful elite friends and says, hey, I just kind of want the publishing from this guy, Justin Baldoni, and so we're just gonna make up this narrative. And do you mind writing this article, Megan Toohey? Yeah, one of the people who launched the Me Too movement. Do you mind writing this article? Because at work, typically, just companies get completely sunk and they have to sell really quickly. We just kind of smear them with the idea that they're rapists. And the New York Times said, yeah, sure, that's not a problem. And they released this article. And the only takeaway you could have as a reader was that this guy was the biggest creep ever. Justin Baldoni was the biggest creep, porn addicted, can't stop talking about sex, tried to cop a look of her boob while she was breast pumping, because, like, I guess that's very attractive, a machine going, and they couldn't stop. He's just crazy. And poor Blake, she's a survivor. And then Brian Friedman hit us with the facts, and it was one of these moments where we went, why do we listen to the mainstream press ever? These are assassins. They're journalistic assassins, okay? And so in this remarkable, again, exposing to us also potentially the corruption of the courts, they started issuing all these subpoenas because Blake Lively's entire story, don't forget, is that there was some inside untraceable campaign and that it couldn't be possible that people organically disliked her, right? So no, but they must have been working with all of these people. And she starts throwing out these subpoenas. I got a subpoena. I didn't even know Justin Baldoni's name last year. I got a subpoena. How am I a part of this untraceable campaign? And of course, immediately I did an episode. I said, yeah, I'll subpoena myself. I hadn't even mentioned this girl, Blake Lively, in my phone 2 times over the last 5 years, okay? And so when we received the subpoena, my lawyer called her lawyer and said, what are you guys looking for? Like, obviously, Candace is happy to give you every bit of anything that you want because she has nothing to do with this lawsuit. And she didn't even begin covering this lawsuit until the end of January of 2025. So yeah, you guys filed this in 2024. What do you need? But remarkably, what they specifically wanted, which is very strange, was they extended the time and they wanted to see whether or not we had communications this year. 2025. Why? Why is the judge allowing them to go on this fishing expedition to pretend that anything that happened this year is relevant to the case that she filed last year? Apparently she's trying to prove that it's still going on or something, and the judge is allowing this BS. Why are the judge allowing this? This is an absolute nonsense. So we went to them and said, Candace has never been told what to publish. That was a part of their subpoena. Wanted to figure out whether people were sending us talking points, whether or not people had paid us, whether or not people were encouraging, like, asking us to say certain things throughout an episode. It's a nonsense. In fact, I should sue them for defamation for even suggesting that I would let somebody put words in my mouth. It's bad for my brand. You hurt me now. That feels like an untraceable campaign, Blake Lively. Okay? Cut that out right now. he said, obviously that's not true. Do you even know who Candace is? And we absolutely are not giving you our communications. We will file to completely quash this subpoena, and we will win because we will cite reporter's privilege. You know that Candace went out and said, if you have any tips, send it to her line at tips@candaceowens.com. You know that she then began receiving tips. So what are you trying to do? What game are you trying to play? You're trying to like find a communication and then try to trot it out as PR proof. Like, oh yeah, no, Candace, see, they were all involved at the looting in February of 2025 after we filed our lawsuit. That's a nonsense. And they had a friendly conversation, the lawyers had a friendly conversation, and they asked us not to file the quash until they could see they filed some motion whether or not they could win on forcing the defendants of this case, Brian Friedman and co. Justin Baldoni, to have to give their communications so that it won't actually involve me at all, meaning we can get them, they will be subpoenaed and they will have to turn over their communications rather than including you. Yeah, that would kind of be the big idea between all of you guys. And again, it seems very strange to me that they're trying to pivot a strategy here and they're no longer concerned with what was leading up to this lawsuit. They're trying to prove that this campaign is happening now. All I can say to you is, legitimately, from the bottom of my heart, I hate people who lie. I cannot stand the idea of people being so wealthy and so connected that they can ruin people's lives. This is also my emotional attachment to this Brigitte story now, right? You're trying to ruin people's lives for telling the truth. Happening across the board. You guys are colluding with the press. The press is supposed to protect the little guy, okay? The press is supposed to protect the Natasha Rays. The press is supposed to protect Xavier Poussard. The press is supposed to be outraged at the idea of a president, a sitting president with all of the power and the press in his pocket, filing a lawsuit against a mom reporting on events in her home. But they're not, because they are part of the elite, okay? Like I said, they are trained. They have never been a separate entity. There is no such thing as the fourth estate. It is all a part of the estate that has been built to delude us into believing that we are receiving information, to delude us into believing that we are a part of some free market system. Nope. It is all of us versus them, okay? All of us versus them. And all of these cases matter. Like, we are at the gates and we have to fight like hell. That is the reality. We have to fight like hell because we are really, in my viewpoint, the last generation that can, right? We don't stand up, our kids are going to inherit this. And I keep saying that to people, be brave, okay? Send us the tips, tell us what we need to know, tell us where the bodies are buried, and I will report on it. We have to be brave. They want us not to be brave. That's why they're giving us all this distraction, technology, social media, breeding weak men. They want everybody to be homosexual, right? That's another element of this. They want men to behave like women while telling women that they're going to find happiness behaving like men. You women, you go to work. Men, you be more effeminate. All of that is a part of what I believe to be a broader strategy to effectively weaken our societies. So that even if they go full mass down and say, yeah, sexual perverts are running the world, we are not going to have it within us the courage to fight these people. That's it, because we're just going to be like, oh, but like I'm on Instagram, I'm really comfortable, everything's so plush, I don't really want to fight for anything, nothing really matters, so I will just accept my enslavement. I say no, no, no to all of that. By the way, shout out to Perez Hilton. I thought regarding the Brigitte Macron case that I had the absolute best headline ever written when they said Candace Owens subpoenas herself live. But I gotta say, Perez Hilton, this headline really made me chuckle. It was in Us Magazine, Us Weekly. Blake Lively slams Perez Hilton in court for calling her Ku Klux Khaleesi. Ku Klux Khaleesi. And she says that he's not a journalist. Yeah, she had to sit down and be deposed, and I don't know why, but Ku Klux Khaleesi sent me. Everyone's sucking a big baby. You were so happy to play the game in smearing Justin Baldoni. Now, oh my gosh, you're so fragile, I can't deal with it. This is how they are, right? When they have full power, it's ha ha ha, and then suddenly when the tables turn and people wake up to the truth, then it's running, where's my lawyer, file a lawsuit, Trump, please shut her up. Sorry, I'm not shutting up. And every day that passes, I'm a little more angry at Donald Trump, because I'm realizing he's not said anything about this leader coming over and trying to essentially trample the Constitution. What does that mean? Like, now I'm starting to go back in my mind, and you guys tell me if you think this is fair, and I'm wondering, when Trump called me and presented it as like, oh, stop talking about this because of Ukraine and Russia, was it really because of Ukraine and Russia? Or was he protecting the elites? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But now I'm going back in my mind, and I'm starting to wonder, like, are we looking at a globalist government, and they're terrified because the people are waking up, and they're going, real going to recognize real, globalists going to recognize globalists, okay? And we need to get this under control. Nip this girl in the bud. Make sure you tell her that she can't say anything. She respects you. Was I taken for a ride? What do you guys think? I'm interested to know what you guys think. Anyways, I'm going to tell you guys, before I get to your comments about Tax Network USA, because Tax Network USA proudly believes in freedom, resilience, and financial independence, and for a limited time, they're offering 10% off all services. If you're dealing with back taxes or missed the April 15th deadline, you should not wait, because the IRS is stepping up enforcement fast. Penalties can add up quickly, up to 5% per month, maxing out at 25% of your total tax bill. And that's just for not filing. That's on top of what you already owe. But there is some good news. Tax Network USA can still help you turn things around, whether you're self-employed, run a business, or your books are a complete mess. Their team knows how to cut through the chaos and find your solutions that work. Your consultation is completely free, and getting ahead of the problem now can help you avoid harsh penalties, wage garnishments, or surprise tax levies. Take the first step. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. You may have missed the tax deadline, but you haven't run out of options. Let Tax Network USA help. Again, call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. Anyways, I'm fired up. What are you guys thinking about? Got 55,000 of you watching this live. Where are you, Morocco? Where are you, Algeria, France? Get down to your library, okay? We are the captains now. We gotta get to the bottom of the story. I am seized. Germany, what's up? What was going on in Amiens? Do you guys have records? Like what we probably not, because of course we know that the genocide was committed on the Germans following World War II. Weird little facts. They don't want to tell you. Oh, we were the bad guys. Yeah, whatever. 2 million of them at the end of the war. Who's looking? Who's paying attention? And then passing speech laws so nobody can talk about what happened to their ancestors. Yeah, I'm on to you, historians. Really starting to ask myself some questions. First up in the comments section, I just want to shout out all of you. Le Parisien did a hit piece video on me in France, and the comments totally passed the vibe check on YouTube. Here are some of the comments of you guys saying, obviously the word, because they called me anti-Semitic, this Brigitte Macron story. I'm like, huh? How? Why? This person writes, obviously the word anti-Semitic had to be included, which has nothing to do with the said affair. Next person writes, in which country would a 39-year-old adult have a relationship with a 15-year-old minor? In which country? Next person writes, the Pharisees have spoken and no one believes them. Liars, Pharisees. This next person writes, we recall that the Parisian Bernard Arnault, who enormously helped Macron to come to power. Next user writes, I'm proud of the U.S. I'm proud of us, 802 comments, not a single one in favor of this communication from the Elysee Palace. Bravo to all the conspiracy theorists. Wink. Yes, it feels like we are united. That's why I said we just gotta keep going. We have to keep going on this Brigitte story because it unwinds it all. Somebody messaged me today, they said they are going after you. They're like hanging you in public, in the town square. Because what you represent is everyone in the world waking up. And the elites do not like that. Okay, they do not like that. So they're gonna be like, we're gonna punish this girl. World, pay attention. Well, we're gonna do this girl. We're gonna kill her. And then you guys will get back in line and realize that we are the writers and we know everything. Not. Okay, Marcy writes, bad news, Candace. The EU is looking to ban all private messages on social media. The GOP majority whip Tom Emmer is bringing House members to meet with Netanyahu during the House break. This is the same break the Republicans used to stop the Epstein vote. And Skylar has a note here saying that the EU has proposed something called chat control. Of course they have. And it has 19 out of 27 EU member states reportedly backing the measure. The plan would mandate messaging platforms, including WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram, to scan every message, photo, and video sent by users, even if end-to-end encryption is in place, of course. Because now that we know they're lying, all of us know that they're lying, they need to come in on speech. This is the reason why they're doing it in America. Americans get loud, okay? We may be the only people that have speech left in this world, okay? Like, we need to get louder. We need to scream right now. They're passing anti-BDS laws saying that they're not going to give money if you say anything against Israel. What's that about? We're waking up to the truth. And they're nervous because there's way more of us than there are of them.